Mom left me behind when I was pregnant. I struggled for 4 years in a shelter. Now she wants back into my daughter's life after finding out who her father is. The street, pregnant and alone by your own mother. Asterisk that happened to me. And 4 years later, after I clawed my way out of hell, she came back, but only because my daughter's dad turned out to be a Swiss billionaire. I was 22 when I told my mom I was pregnant. Her response? 2 hours. That's all the time she gave me to pack. Then she declared I could handle the penalties of my choices. I sat on our front step, 2 garbage bags of clothes at my feet. The locks changed, nowhere to go. My daughter's father was a one-night stand from a college freshman orientation. His name was Ethan. He was visiting from Switzerland, and I never saw him again after that night. I didn't even know his last name. I dropped out of school, moved into a shelter. My mom, she told everyone I'd gone to Vegas to strip. The next 4 years were a living nightmare. I worked waitressing jobs, dealing with customers who thought my body was part of the tip. Lily and I lived in a studio apartment riddled with black mold and insects. I couldn't afford a crib, so my baby girl slept in a dresser drawer. Food stamps, WIC appointments, trekking 4 miles to work because the bus didn't run early enough. All while my mother's 4-bedroom house sat a mere 25 minutes away. She even told our family I was dead. My sister, Rachel, was my one lifeline. She'd secretly meet me at parks, smuggling hand-me-down clothes for Lily. But she was terrified to do more. Mom had threatened to cut her off if she helped me. But I survived. I got my GED online while Lily slept. By the time she was 3, I was in community college, had better waitressing gigs, saved enough to move into a safer apartment. Lily was my everything. Smart, funny, reading at 4, doing basic math before kindergarten. Every single breath I took was for her. Then last month, he walked into my restaurant. An expensive suit, that distinct Swiss accent. He just stared. "Excuse me," he finally asked. "Did you attend State University 4 years ago?" My heart stopped. Ethan. He was Benjamin Foster, heir to a luxury hotel empire across Europe. His cousin had given him my orientation photo. He'd spent 3 years searching for me, hired detectives, spent thousands, all because he couldn't forget the American girl who drunkenly quoted Shakespeare and laughed at his bad jokes. I introduced him to Lily, showing him her picture. He broke down right there in the restaurant. His father had tried to push him into an arranged marriage, but Benjamin had refused, haunted by me. He wanted to meet Lily. Quickly. Within a week, he set up a trust fund for her, bought us a house, and demanded I accept $8,000 a month in back child support. His family flew in from Switzerland, showering Lily with love and presents. And that's when my mother returned. She showed up at my new house with flowers and tears. "I made a mistake," she sobbed. "I missed you so much. Family should forgive." But I knew. My neighbors had seen the Mercedes with Swiss plates, the high-end delivery vans. She'd investigated Benjamin, knew his identity, knew his family's immense wealth. Now that Lily had a trust fund and the potential for Swiss finishing schools, now she wanted to be involved. I let her in. She talked about second chances, about my youthful mistakes, about wanting the best for us. Her eyes gleamed when she saw a picture of Lily with Benjamin's family at their house in Switzerland. "We should plan her 6th birthday together," she chirped. "Maybe in Switzerland. I've always wanted to see Geneva." That's when Benjamin walked in from the kitchen. He'd heard everything. My mother, beaming, extended her hand, gushing about her granddaughter. Benjamin looked at her hand like it was covered in sewage. "You're the woman," he stated, his voice quiet but sharp, "who threw your pregnant daughter onto the street." My mother mumbled something about tough love and duty. Benjamin flashed something on his phone. Her face went ashen. "This is a police report from the shelter where your daughter spent her first month homeless," he said. "This social services file shows she requested emergency housing at 7 months pregnant. This hospital report confirms she gave birth alone, impoverished." He paused, looking directly at her. "Want me to continue?" He cut off her explanations, swiping to another screen. "Your shelter intake form," he continued, "has abandoned minor checked in red." She started to speak, but he interrupted, asking if she wanted him to finish reading his investigators' 4 years of paperwork. I stood frozen in the kitchen doorway, gripping the frame, watching her scramble for excuses. She claimed she didn't realize how bad things were, thought I'd figure it out. Benjamin showed more documents, medical and social services papers like court evidence. Tears mingled with her meticulously applied foundation. She spun around, trembling. "I was so scared," she whimpered. "I made a terrible mistake. I thought about you every day. I moved back before she could touch me. Go, I said, my voice calm but firm. Benjamin, without a word, opened the front door for her. My mother stood in my living room, shocked. We need to talk, she pleaded. My heart hammered, but my hand didn't tremble as I held the door open. She collected her handbag and wilted flowers, walking past me, head down, more tears. I watched her get into her car and drive away, then leaned against the door, my legs weak with relief. Later, at the kitchen table, Benjamin apologized for ambushing me. He'd paid detectives to gather every detail of my survival. It's all here, he said, tapping a stack of files, in case you ever need evidence. We decided on a formal paternity confirmation before anything else. 3 days later, we met Samantha Harper, a sharp lawyer who, Benjamin insisted, worked only for me. She laid out everything: financial safeguards, court-admissible DNA tests. Benjamin immediately put back child support into an escrow account. The house was mine, legally protected. I signed pages of jargon, relieved for every word that protected Lily and me. Rachel texted me. Mom was calling every relative, saying I was cruel, keeping Lily a secret out of anger. The old fear of isolation, the ache of those 4 years alone, hit me. But I reminded myself, most of them thought I was a Vegas dancer anyway. They hadn't been there when I needed them. Lily, with her plush rabbit clutched tight, asked about her new acquaintance. I didn't call him father yet. Nothing was proven, and I wouldn't make promises I couldn't keep. Lily just wanted to know if he liked cartoons too. A week later, at a park, Lily, tentative at first, warmed up to Benjamin. She asked why he spoke strange. He chuckled, explaining he was from Switzerland, where they spoke differently, then told her McDonald's was there, but the menu was in French and German. He answered her questions like she was a genuine person, her ideas mattered. I watched from a bench, near enough to intervene, far enough for them to connect. Day 8. My mother's voicemail. She forgives me for withholding Lily, wants to go on as a family. I listened twice, then deleted it. Dealing with an incomprehensible person drains you. I wasn't explaining myself again. I researched grandparents' rights at the library. Samantha Harper reassured me Mom had little standing, but suggested mediation as a good faith gesture. My boss supported me when customers gossiped about my royal boyfriend. Rachel confessed her fear of Mom cutting her off financially, but I reassured her. You helped us more than anyone. The DNA test. Lily, giggling, thought they were checking for cavities. Benjamin, grinning, played along. We wouldn't tell her until the results were in. Samantha laid out our options: court-ordered custody, privacy measures, a cease and desist letter for Mom. Benjamin and I crafted a co-parenting framework, starting with supervised visits, gradually increasing based on Lily's comfort. Then Lily's school called. My mother had shown up, pretending to be the grandmother, asking about pickup procedures. My hands quivering with protective rage, I left work immediately, filling out a formal restriction to prevent repeat incidents. Samantha sent a no-contact letter to my mother, warning of legal action. Signing it made me sick with remorse, but oddly strong. For the first time, I was choosing safety over peace. I started a secret notebook, documenting every encounter, every voicemail from Mom. It helped organize the chaos. Benjamin brought a European furniture catalog, pointing to a $2,500 dollhouse. My stomach twisted. It's too much, I told him. Lily is 5. Experiences are more important than expensive things. He looked perplexed, but then suggested a weekend trip to the science center instead. His willingness to listen, to alter direction, was more valuable than any gift. The DNA results arrived. Benjamin and I reviewed the pages. Lily came in coloring. Benjamin looked at her. I'm your daddy, he said softly. I've been looking for you for a long time. Lily, serious, asked if she had Swiss grandparents. Yes, we told her. Your whole family wants to meet you when you're ready. Samantha Harper recommended Catherine Wilson, a child therapist. We planned an intake visit. Learning to seek help, I realized, didn't make me weak. It meant I was wise enough to know our needs. A strange local number flashed on my phone at work. A reporter. She'd heard about Benjamin's daughter, wanted to fact-check. Panic. I called Samantha from the bathroom. No media interaction, she advised. Let it die from lack of information. Silence was our defense. My mother's 5-page letter arrived. Apologies mixed with demands, manipulation. She wanted to plan a family trip to Switzerland. I archived it. She was trying to get back in without proving herself. My monitored meeting with Mom in Victoria Clark's office was brutal. She read a written apology, detailing all 4 years. Pushing me out at 18 and pregnant, changing the locks, denying communication, telling relatives I was a stripper. Not going to the hospital when I gave birth alone. Living 25 minutes away, never checking on us. She cried, but didn't defend herself. It was more honest than any apology before. This is a first step, I told her, not absolution. We set strict conditions. 6 months of weekly therapy, written accountability, no pushback on boundaries. Only then would we consider a supervised meeting with Lily. My restaurant manager adjusted my schedule, so I could be home for Lily's bedtime rituals. Benjamin and I wrote a school statement for Lily, asking that concerns be addressed privately. The principal thanked us for being proactive. Catherine Wilson approved a brief, supervised meeting between my mother and me before Mom could contact Lily. That monitored meeting was harder than imagined. Mom read her written apology, detailing how she'd denied aid, lied to relatives, and put pride before my survival. She confessed receiving Rachel's call that I'd given birth alone and not going to the hospital. 2 years later, she saw Lily's picture for the first time and felt nothing, believing I deserved it. Her voice cracked, but she didn't defend herself. I hurt her, I told Victoria Clark. I'm not ready to forgive her. We negotiated. No overnight visits with Lily, no unsupervised time for 6 months. Lily's health reviewed every 3 months. My mother accepted everything. She knew she'd broken my trust, and it would take years to restore it. The limits were clear, fair. I started planning Lily's park birthday party, balloons, paper plates, a grocery store cake. Benjamin saw my notes. He suggested a princess party, a rented venue. I declined. 6-year-olds didn't need fancy entertainment. He asked how. He could help. I gave him a $60 budget and a list of dollar store decorations. He emailed photos of streamers and balloons, asking if the colors matched. It felt normal. My mother called. She suggested Lily visit Switzerland for her birthday, stay at a family hotel. We're focused on modest local visits, I said, not international travel. She understood. No guilt, no manipulation. Acceptance. Hope. Samantha Harper finalized everything. The parenting plan, child support trust, court filings. Benjamin signed without hesitation. I signed with a shake. It felt so official, so permanent. Benjamin and I walked for coffee. He looked uneasy. His father, Victor Foster, was pressuring him to settle down. He'd implied Lily's existence would legitimate things, make me a good match. Benjamin quickly added that he'd told his father romance wasn't on the table. We needed to be steady co-parents first, not an arranged partnership. Maintaining respectful distance, he said, was more important. I thanked him, relieved. Lily's stability was paramount. My mother completed 3 therapy sessions. Her therapist noted she was engaged seriously with the work. Real change takes months, years, not weeks. I watched her actions, ready to see if they stayed consistent. The first supervised visit between Lily and her grandmother was at a family center. Lily emerged with a colored butterfly picture. Grandma was nice but sad, she said. I'm not sure if I want to see her again soon. I told her that was okay. She got to decide the pace. Lily's birthday party was perfect. Kids ran around, played tag, sang happy birthday. My mother arrived for her supervised 30-minute window. She watched quietly, then said goodbye to Lily without fuss, departing precisely on time. As I watched her go, I felt something unexpected. Rachel and I met for lunch. She looked more relaxed than I'd seen her in years. She wouldn't listen to Mom's complaints anymore. She was tired of being in the middle. We started building our own relationship. My community college acceptance letter arrived. Business fundamentals, English comp, intro to accounting. The schedule fit Lily's kindergarten hours and Benjamin's visits. I could study, not work extra shifts. Sitting at my kitchen table, I thought about the future I'd always wanted. The one I'd been building for 4 years of hell. It was finally becoming real. Benjamin left for Switzerland. Lily stood at the window, watching his car, her palm on the glass. We'd set up video calls. At bedtime, she showed him her room on the tablet. He listened carefully. She counted the days until his next visit, using stickers on her calendar. The system worked. It gave her something concrete to track, made his absence manageable. My mother went to therapy every week. We had monthly supervised visits. The pace was slow, intentional. She arrived on time, followed the rules, didn't push for more access. I was surprised by her lack of drama. Rachel and I met for coffee every other week. One night, after Lily fell asleep, I sat in our quiet, safe apartment. No comparison to those first nights in the shelter. I remembered the roaches, the grabby customers, walking for miles in the dark. We needed to remember where we'd been, so I'd never take this stability for granted. Gratitude and caution lived in my chest. Our new normal was messy, structured, and completely ours. Lily had 2 respectful parents, coordinating schedules, putting her needs first. A grandmother earning her way back with strict boundaries. An aunt becoming a real friend. And a mother who endured hell and built something solid, who knew exactly what it cost to get here. Nobody was flawless, but everyone was better. What do you think about drawing such firm boundaries with family, especially when children are involved? Have you ever had to protect your kids from a toxic relative? Tell me your story in the comments below. I'd love to know your perspective.